れでこそ私のライバルだ。
Alright everybody, welcome back to the YS channel. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of anime once again. Today's feature movie review, we're going to take a closer look at the classic anime movie, Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack. This 1988 movie was directed by Yoshiyuki Tomino and is a pivotal moment in the Gundam franchise, serving as like a culmination of the rivalry between the two iconic characters, Char Aznable, excuse me, Aznable, and Amuro Ray, which again from the original Gundam, the primary protagonist and antagonist from the original series. So anyway, join us as we explore the highs and lows of this epic fucking space opera with fucking mech suits.
Well, Char Counterattack takes place in the Universal Century timeline on Gundam, where the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon have been embroiled in a conflict known as the 1 Year War. And eventually that 1 Year War becomes a conflict, but with conflict by the time this movie starts. Char Aznable, the enigmatic and charismatic former Zeon ace pilot, has resurfaced as the leader of the Neo Zeon movement, hellbent on achieving his vision of a space-based society. Standing in his way is his old rival, the Earth Federation ace pilot Amuro Ray, who must once again pilot the RX-93 Nu Gundam to stop Char's ambitions. The movie says itself ties up most of its ends from the original Mobile Suit Gundam, its sequel series Gundam Zeta and Double Zeta, while creating issues with its ending, which is up for debate for the fate of Amuro and Char.
Yeah, so for those of you unfamiliar, a little bit more backstory here. So this is the fourth Gundam movie. Now, out of all these, this is the first original movie. What I mean by that is the first three were like compilations of like the original anime. They sprinkle some new animation in there. But it's pretty much like just a bridge, alternate retellings of the original anime. Kind of like it was a movie review I did for Gotcha Man, or like what we know as the G-Force, where they made a movie, but it's just they spliced in episodes together to make it look like a movie. So if you go back and watch the first three Gundam movies, that's what they are. So this is the first truly original one. And then they put some good money and effort into this. When you look at the animation is stunning in this movie, especially for like a late 80s anime. So you gotta keep in mind it doesn't have like the big like Disney budget. So you gotta keep that in mind, but like especially the space battles, and especially the final fight with Amuro and Char, and with their mech suits, Gundams, mobile suits. It's very vibrant, very well animated. You for the most part you can track what's going on. Like, I mean, they're throwing a lot at you, but you can follow everything what's going on, and it's beautiful animation. Very similar to the Macross movie that we did a review on like last year.
Yeah.
It's just very vivid and beautiful, like well done animation. It's part of the reason why like these movies kind of like still endure to this day. It's just how well animated they are. Whether that the story holds up or whatever, you just want to see fucking giant mech suits, robot suits, fucking go at it.
Right. Well, another factor why Char's Counterattack is still well known today amongst anime fans is its character development. It further explores the complex relationship between Char and Amuro. Both characters have grown since the latest encounter in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, and both were absent in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, with the exception here and there of their names being mentioned. And their conflicting ideologies driving the narrative forward. Char's charismatic yet enigmatic nature is juxtaposed with Amuro's more introspective and conflicted personality, creating a compelling dynamic that keeps viewers interested in their rivalry. The film delves into the motivations, fears, and desires, adding layers of depth to their characters that make them more and just archetypical heroes and villains.
So anyhow, it's every aspect of this movie that stands out as far as anime movies go. It has a pretty good soundtrack. You know, it's not like they just ripped off rock music or some other popular music and just threw in the background. So the movies are composed by the legendary Shigeaki Sagusa. And it complements again the action on the screen. It enhances the tension, the emotions. But each scene for the most part is trying to like get you to feel go along with. A lot of orchestral themes. Again, they kind of take some inspiration here from like Star Wars when it comes to that, which I'm sure they were inspired by Star Wars with the original Gundam franchise to an extent. Anyhow, again, the soundtrack does help to elevate the viewing experience for what is arguably one of the better anime movies of the late '80s.
I agree. Great. Char's Counterattack tackles the themes of war, power, and the human cost of conflict. Like all the previous Gundam series up to this point covered that as well, but this movie was trying to tie up the loose ends to all those series, and the heart of the conflict of this movie is that Char basically wants to drop an asteroid onto Earth, and that would render. And it would do so much damage that it would render Earth into an ice age, forcing all of the remaining humans on Earth into the space colonies. And his ambition for the large part is going unchecked until Amuro re-enters the picture, and he's having his own issues as you speak. For example, he's having PTSD about what happened to a character called Lotto Soon, which Amuro killed and battled in the original Mobile Suit Gundam. And then Char's having the same issues as well, but he's using his hatred of Amuro and the pains he suffered to basically doom the planet Earth, and Amuro is doing the exact opposite. He's trying to save the planet Earth. The Earth Federation has done him dirty in the past. And yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So it has a compelling story, as we mentioned earlier. Kind of the little nitpicky point is it does kind of leave their fates ambiguous. Until like future installments of the Gundam franchise expand upon it, I guess. Because these characters do come back in various sequels or even prequels to the series. But for a while, like, kind of just left their fates hanging, like, ambiguous. But anyhow, the movie itself does have like a lasting impact on the Gundam franchise as a whole, and even like mecha anime. Again, it has great storytelling, visuals, character development. Again, amazing animation. And it if you're a fan of anime movies, this one's up there. Whether or not you're into the Gundam franchise itself, which, depending which iteration you're following, because like the Universal Century is like pretty much the main, how would you say, like the golden timeline or the main one, but there's splinter alternate ones, whatever. So anyhow, depending which one you're following, may or may not interest you here. Anyhow, this movie did well, which was very important in keeping the Gundam franchise going at the time. And it's also inspired other mecha anime, even like space opera type animes to keep coming. And then again, it's definitely a turning point in the Gundam franchise as a whole. As far as it's kind of like that final shot in the army needed to just hang around. It was kind of on life support for a bit, and then I know the original franchise ended or was canceled, and then they realized they could resell the toys and model kits to an older audience instead of little children, which is kind of allowed the franchise to get revitalized. And then this movie is kind of like the exclamation point on that concept. And again, it's also why it's still loved and beloved to this day. So in short, for anime fans, mecha anime, Gundam fans, of course, this is a must-watch. It's not just like a cheesy movie. It's actually a really well-told story. Again, beautiful animation. The choreography with the mech suits. The mobile suits, the Gundams fighting each other in space. Beautifully well done. You gotta give them props and credit for that. And it's a must-watch for you anime fans out there. And with that said, please drop a like, subscribe, follow our channel. We truly, truly, truly greatly appreciate it.